everybody, and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Race 4 of the Serpent Series at the Redbull Ring, the full GP circuit, where weather could get involved as we have a look at the standings, and Ray joins us on commentary. How are you, Ray?
I'm very well.
Good.
As we see, Steve at F1 now leading the race. It was SGP last
week. Is he leading the race? Has it started?
Sorry, the league, the championship.
Okay. Oh, I thought I'd missed something for a moment then.
Yeah, so last week it was SGP.
Yes, it was.
Steve F1. And our pal's not that far behind.
Yeah.
He's beaming up.
Yeah, it's quite close up at the top. It's looking a bit gloomy here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit misty back there.
Oh, there's Demon R with his pole position. I wonder if the cuss will get him this week. We've got Jason, the flying Swede in second place. And then followed by the American Conrad. Is he American? Wonder if he is or not. He might be. And then we've got Art Pal, the brother that I don't know what
the brother from the same mother.
SGP Steve F1. And who's that?
Jimmy. Jimmy. And then we've got Nelly. Nelly didn't have the best qualifying by the looks of it. Neither did Critical, unfortunately. Gary, though, in his snake livery, just ahead of Hay. I wonder if he asked for permission to change his livery from last week. And then we've got Twilight at the back. Also wasn't able to sort of get a good time in qualifying. But, Ray, here we go. It's looking misty as we're at 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Away we go! And it looks like a little bit of a slow start from Conrad as Demon R moves over to cover Jason. He doesn't want passing up that inside, does he? Jason might still be able to do it, though. No, he can't.
No, Conrad going round outside. Oh, that was close. Nearly 3-4 wide there.
Yeah. SGP's making a move on Jason now, as well as Art Pal on the attack as well. So Jason sort of looking at attacking Demon R in that first corner's cost him big time. It's a little bit bumpy in the background. Steve F1 looking up the inside of Art Pal, maybe catching him sleeping a little bit there as Nelly on the pack cam manages to stay ahead of Formula Gary. Demon R, though's broken away already. If we had DRS, Ray, I think he might be out of the detection zone.
Yeah, he ain't staying about, is he? He's buggered off.
Aye.
Boring bastard.
Aye.
As we see Steve F1 on the back of Jason here.
I hope he has permission.
Why surprise Steve F1 that far out?
Yeah, well, interestingly, around this track, in the practice sessions, Demon R did have quite a gap of pace. We don't often see it. It was around about half a second. Because I would say we don't often see it because the field has been a lot closer as of late as Art Pal all over the back of Steve F1. And yeah, Steve F1 not quite been able to match the pace of Demon R here, as Gary having a look up the inside of Critical. Ooh, nearly.
Yeah, and wasn't it in practice Steve F1 when we done the 10-minute qualifying? He never made a lap without a penalty. I'm sure it was Steve F1, can't remember.
Oh, last week in practice, maybe. Yes, it was. It was Art Pal as well. Oh, SGP's got struck. No, it weren't Steve F1. Oh, wow, we've got a big crash happening back here. Nearly all out of shape. Oh, dear.
It was Art Pal.
It was Art Pal, yeah. Steve F1 wasn't there in practice. That may be another reason why he's
closer to Jason.
He really is. He's going to attack it to 2. I mean, in F1 they call this turn 3. I don't. To me, it's turn 2. But there we go.
How can it be turn 3? The other thing's just a little kink.
Exactly. Well, some people rate.
Well,
some people like a bit of kink. As Steve F1 is not attacking Jason down into turn 3/4. Don't stroke it too hard though. Behave, boys. Art Pal had tried to attack SGP after SGP went deep at 1. I think he may have been taking avoided action from the back of Conrad. And look on the pack cam, you can see that big dark cloud over the mountains. I wonder if that's going to be making its way over the racetrack. There is the possibility of rain. in this championship. Oh, Harpal's got a big
It's the stroke for. Also, who's that? Gary? Or was it was Jimmy? Jimmy went deep as well, all over the cup.
Yeah, Harpal's got a penalty for going wide there. Oh! Bye, Nelly. It looked like he went to move over to the racing line, but there was a car there. Yeah, it's unfortunate for you, Nelly, but considering you can turn your head, you could look in the mirror.
Yeah, use your eyeballs for fuck's
yeah.
sake.
Harpal into the pits at the end of lap 2. That is a very early stop. We've still got 22 laps of the race to do.
Right enough. Yeah, I can't remember how many laps we went at practice before pitting. So
Well,
I'll leave that for your analysis.
Well, what I can say is, if you absolutely batter the tyres, you get 5-6 laps out of them. If you look after them, you could get 10 or more. Now, you might not be able to go at a rapid pace, but you may be able to get a good undercut or something like that if you pit early and do a 10 lap. So, for example, Harpal, if he does a 10 lap stint now, that would, well, I suppose if you could do an 11 lap stint, he could do 2 of them. He'd get a massive undercut now. Oh, hey, you got a little bit twitchy.
Yeah, a little bit twitchy there.
Oh, Jimmy.
Critical, he's going for a switchback on Jimmy. Nice move.
Yeah, Jimmy went a little deep, Critical. Made the most of it. Gary having a look over the inside. It's such a difficult move to try and make into that left-hander. I must. Oh, Jimmy in. Hey, side by side. Go on.
Yeah, he going round the outside of Jimmy there. Jimmy's going to have the inside line. He trying to stop. I can get a wee touch for Gary from behind, but all good. As we come into this corner, Critical. That's about wide. You're going to get penalty. Watch, Jimmy's there.
Yeah, he has got the penalty as we're nearly four wide. 3 wide, breathe in. Who's going to be brave? Who's going to be sensible? Oh, he's sensible. He's just driven off the track out of everybody's way. Well done. You may have got on the brakes a little late there, or maybe just didn't want to be involved in anything in that corner. Jimmy's got a bit of a run on Critical now, so these three did get through the corner unscathed. Twilight just ahead of them. Not really seen much of Twilight so far. By the way, on the pack cabin, go on.
Critical darting about. I don't know if they just caught Jimmy out in the braking zone there. Just a wee bit careful in that, the braking zone when you're darting about.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at it as Nelly trying to make a move on Critical, and Gary may be able to get this stopped. Gary's got to be a little bit careful, don't turn in on the car that's there. They get through. Hay might get a switch back on Jimmy. Cracking battle going on. Okay, so yeah, I was going to mention on the pack cam, it looks like we're doing a little bit of an onboard run on Jason, I think it is. Yes, it is. Jason, who is just behind Conrad and just ahead of Steve. What is that? Getting busy. Oh, just behind Nelly.
Yep, let's see here, they're still side by side. They are still side by side. Oh, Critical was just a wee bit ahead, but that camera angle was just. Oh, Critical's
served the penalty. Yep, served the penalty.
Yeah, he got it from.
Oh,
last lap. Oh, who was that?
That was
Jimmy.
Yeah, I think Gary was sort of slowing down and backing out of the move and caught Jimmy out. Oh, that's caught him out big time. Oh, hey, just missed him. And Gary goes spinning around as Hayes got a penalty. I don't know what for. And Jimmy, it looks like he's slowing down and perhaps waiting.
I thought that was livery.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at Demon R, his tyres are good. He's done 5 laps already. Conrod's are good, or on lap 5 I should say. So are Jason's. So are Steve F1's. So we've done 4 laps, and looking at the front tyres, that would suggest, Ray, that we could be looking at around about 9 to 10 laps on the tyres. I think I'm just...
Alright,
Oh,
yeah, sorry, yeah. No,
was he counting on your fingers?
No, honestly, my brain just went dead for a minute there.
Fair enough.
Like, okay.
Have you not had a drink today?
Yeah, I'm on my first one.
I've not had one yet. I'm on coffee at the minute, but that's because I spent most of the day in bed. Critical looking at making a move on Nelly. It can be done here, but really you need to be side by side. But if the car ahead goes deep like that, you can make the move. Critical's going to have to be careful of Hay behind. So yeah, this corner here, this left-hander, if you're side by side before it, I have no issues with sort of trying to make the move. Late moves into that one, I'm not a big fan of, just because of how the fastest. Oh wow, what a move from Hay and Jimmy.
Yeah. Critical and nearly hit the penalties in.
Yeah, and Hay, I think,
Jimmy's
as well.
off.
Yeah, I hope he's not effed off. Forced off is what I meant. Yeah, okay, so if we look at...
He's trying to tell us something.
With a pink?
Yeah, before he got
well,
it.
Actually, you know what, actually, you might need some information. He got married.
What's his name?
That's not his name. He's not Norwegian. But yeah, he's not with them anymore. They're getting divorced. But yeah, they got married.
I know that.
Okay.
It's only lasted like 6 months or less.
Bloody hell. Okay, looking at Jimmy. Oh! Twilight wide! Critical sliding! I don't know.
Get a helping hand there as well when he, coming out the corner.
Quite.
Go free wide. It's like pushing to get some space in there here, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, can't quite tuck in Critical. So I thought it was Twilight for a moment. Yeah, so we saw Twilight off, but we couldn't see exactly what was the cause of that. It is very easy, though, to have a bump up the rear into turn 2. So we see... Go on.
I said, oh, why?
Why? Well...
I said, oh, aye.
Oh, aye.
A
bump up. Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, look at... Sorry. It's because I've not had a drink. I'm not on the filthy stuff. Jason into the pits. That might... Or SGP into the pits. I was going to say, that might be a little early. But, get a good undercut. Oh!
I think Twilight wanted the pits.
Well, he's going in them. I mean, it is possible, yeah, that he may have been going for the pits there and didn't realise that, hey, had just got his nose inside. Okay, so Jason, SGP, Twilight in the pits. They've got different fuel currently in the car from how much they've used it. And interestingly, Ray, looking at the fuel, it's not burning off that much, is it? Like, the tyres could go before the fuel does. No, the fuel could go before the tyres does.
Yeah.
He's having a look at Jimmy.
So it is burning fuel.
Yes, that. Yeah, I was.
It wasn't burning fuel.
Yeah.
Oh, nice move. Jimmy lost the rear end a wee bit there. Try to get on the power early. So that's let Hay.
Yep. And Art Pal, is it? Yes. So Art Pal, after pitting on lap 2, now having used the boost, is back up to 6th place. And I would just like to point out, what I said was word for word factually correct, just wrong for this race. Yeah, Art Pal with a massive undercut. But if we look, he's got quite a bit of wear on his tyres. He's done about 5 laps though, so he should be able to still go quite a few more. Demon R has not pitted, by the way.
It's taken him 5 laps to get up to what, 5th place? That's a long.
It's a bloody long pit stop. Well,
wait, boost as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Nelly.
Yeah. Yeah.
To you.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me. To you.
Box, stay out. Stay out. Box, stay out. Stay out. Box.
Is that what Kirsty says to you? Sorry. Oh dear. By the way, I would just like to hope that Rich, who hasn't made the race today, I hope it's not because his wife heard commentary last week and was offended by it. If she is, I do apologise. We're just having a bit of fun. We love Rich. Sorry, we love Dick. Critical has just made a lovely move on Hay. Okay, so Demon R didn't pit. Neither did Conrad or Steve F1 to cover Jason, who pitted, or SGP that pitted, which would suggest that they're going to get undercut, as that's formerly Gary making a move on Jimmy and making a move on Hay. Can't get the power down on that tight line though. Okay, Demon R's tyres I mean, he could get another lap or maybe lap and a half out of those. As on the pack cam, hey, all over the back of Critical. Demon R does pit. Okay, is Conrad going to pit?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what's interesting there, Ray? Steve F1 carries on. 24 divided by 3 is 888. So I think Demon R and Conrad are on an 888 strategy. Nelly headed to the pits this time. He was much more decisive, Critical into the pits as well. Something that I was going to say, something that might hurt Demon R and Conrad here is if they don't get the boost when they're coming out of the pits. Jimmy's tyres are about the same as what Demon R's were, so he'll get one more lap out of them. Oh, this could get twitchy.
It depends if these three go in the pits as well. Demon R not really getting much boost, does it?
Yeah, well, at the moment, I mean, looking at the fuel as these two are battling up the hill towards turn 2, looks like Demon R might be filling the tank. As Jimmy is tucked in behind Hay, and nothing really happening up into turn 2 as Demon R is on his way. He has filled his tank. What will be interesting is, so SGP and Jason, they pitted lap 6, end of lap 6, so it'd be interesting to see what the gap is between them at the moment and the likes of Demon R, who was leading by about 4 seconds. So Steve F1 now, still got some tyres. So what would you do, Ray, in this situation? I mean, you've got a bit of a gap here for Steve F1, you've got a bit of tyres. Everyone else that's pitted is going to undercut you, so what do you do?
I would be, but I don't think I'd get the tyres in our lap. That's just me, though. So I would be pitting. Wonder what Steve F1's going to do. He's not pitting. He's far too wide for that. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I don't think he's got it. Oh, so Arpal, who pitted at the end of lap 2, we can see he's still got a bit of life in those tyres. Arpal may have just played a blind here as Jason has just passed somebody who may have been serving a penalty. He's all over the back of Hay now on the pack cam, who's tucking into the pits. Someone else is in the pits as well. So, okay, Gary in the pits, Hayes in the pits. This may just kill the boost for a couple of drivers. So Steve F1 carries on. Arpal is still going. Jason in third. So the gap between Steve F1 and Jason is like the length of turn 1 to turn 2, and SGP is probably about 3-4 seconds behind Jason. So the gaps aren't too bad, but then the gap between SGP and Demon R, that's quite large. Half the straight.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, it's more than Jason to SGP.
Yeah, well, thinking about Jason to Demon R is about the length of turn 1 to turn 2 as well. So Jason and SGP have had a massive undercut in 2 laps over Demon R. Now, you were saying earlier about how Arpal, it took him ages to catch up. Oh, and interestingly, Demon R in 5th, he won't get boost now. Conrad in 6th, he will get boost. Conrad may be able to catch up to Demon R here. That could get very interesting. Steve F1 has got to pit, hasn't he now? Surely. Yes, he has. Don't call me sure.
Last couple of corners, he's fine. Like if you went another lap, he'd be struggling for tyres.
So Arpal, I mean, to make his strategy work, he kind of needs to get to what, end of lap 13. I don't think those tyres will do 3 more laps. I don't think they'll have the life. He may have the fuel for it. Steve F1 getting into his box in a moment. As Jason, no, Arpal takes the lead of the race, sorry. Jason, we see, has got plenty of tyre life. We're doing the 6 lap.
This might help Demon R from Conrad catching him, because this will put Demon R up to 4th place.
Yeah, Conrad 5th.
Conrad might 5th. I don't know if it is. It depends how long. Yeah, Steve F1's filling up,
Yeah, you're right. So Conrad now won't get the boost assist to close the gap anymore on Demon R. So the boost hasn't worked for Demon R, but it has also saved him from being attacked by Connor. I'm curious though what SGP and Jason's strategy is doing 6 lap stint at the start. That'd leave them with what, 18 laps? Perhaps do a 9 and a 9? 9. Brooklyn, .99. Steve F1 doing 10 laps. I mean, obviously, he can't do 14 now. So, does he do 6 and 6?
Or does he do another 10 and then a 4?
Well, if he does
Or
6,
a 4 and a 10?
if he does 6 and 6, he won't get to the end of the race. But oh god, I'm so not with it today, and I've not even had a drink. As critical is all over the back of Jimmy here. Jimmy looks like he might. Oh, I thought he was going to go defensive. He's not. He's ahead. Is he going to go deep? It's so easy to go deep at this corner. You know what? You know what could be interesting if I have the time.
You know, I've just realised.
What?
The headlights of the cars look like snakes. Well, not. Does it depend? Can you change your headlights?
You can change the colour.
My lights don't look circular. His look like. Oh no, they are circular. It's just because it's got yellow.
Yeah, he's got
it
yellow.
looks like snake.
Snake, yeah, it does.
Guys.
Oh, critical making the move on to Twilight down into turn 1. He is ahead. I think Twilight might have slightly more, I could say more worn tyres, but they're not that worn. Oh, critical! Oh, okay, don't reverse. Oh, well, keep moving. Don't reverse onto the track. Okay, this is good stuff. He's spotted the cars going by. He's let it. Oh, no! Oh, that's
Has
one.
he got automatic?
No, I am aware he's. Oh no! Oh! Spinner Spinner wee Rooney! That's unfortunate.
Can you see how that happened? Well, I can see who would be at fault there for that one. It was too quick.
That's what he did. Half-house tyres.
Yeah, he's got to be putting us up. But yeah,
so is Jason.
I don't know why it would reset him that far. Oh, the fight!
Yeah, God, Jason, push it. Well, interestingly, Jason had the tyres to go longer, but he didn't have the fuel. So Jason's kind of done 2 6-lap stints. Maybe that's his tactic. 6, 6, 6, 6. The Devil's, what do you call it? SGP continues on then. Yes, Jason, if he'd have put more fuel in at his last pit stop, perhaps could have gone a few more laps here. Okay, Demon R coming around to 1. We've got Conrad not too far behind.
Demon has closed up to SGP.
Yes, it has. Well, I mean, it's kind of understandable. I mean, Demon R was showing the pace in practice and qualifying. Although I think at the minute he might be concerned about the undercuts that people have been getting, as we see Nelly here closing in on Twilight with Jimmy close behind. Steve F1.
Did you saw the pace in practice?
Oh yeah.
Was that not ahead of you in practice? Or
No.
Was that another thing?
No, that was something else. No, not here. I was like a second ahead of everybody. Sorry, Demon R was. I think I had about 6/10 over Jason on the practice day. Twilight stays ahead. No, he doesn't. Oh, too late on the brakes, and deep he goes. Okay, so Jimmy, Nelly's up to 4th now. Steve F1 having pitted at lap 10 is now up to 6th, so we'll still be getting a little bit of boost until he closes in on the back of Jimmy. Up at the front we've got SGP, who's continued on for another lap, so is Demon R, and so will Conrad. I can't imagine them pitting until about lap 16. Okay, I could be honest as well, I don't know what strategy most of the people are on at the moment, other than I think Jimmy went to about lap 9, so did formerly Gary and Nelly, I think it was, because Nelly did his dummy to the pits, didn't he, and then pitted the lap after. Yeah. Oh.
So see Steve F1 wanting to go down the inside of Jimmy. Just needs to make sure he gets it slowed down.
Nicely done.
I think Jimmy's going for the run out. No, he's not. Maybe he is. No, he's not. He's having a big wiggle.
Okay, on the...
What the hell is that in the side of his car? Is it like a ninja or something?
It looks, I think it is, yeah.
Jimmy the Ninja. Thank God I said that one there.
Yeah. Okay, on the pack cab, Jason's all over the back of Critical as Jimmy is all over the front of Twilight. I think what happened at turn 1, you know, I think Steve F1 went a little deep and had to get out the throttle. And Jimmy had to take slight. Oh, Jason! Oh, the pack! He just tagged the back of Critical. Didn't affect Critical. And Jason has backed out of that one big time. Look, Ray, that's how you do it. Sorry. Okay, Jimmy tried to move, couldn't quite get it done. He's now been attacked by Twilight as they go side by side. This corner, Ray, do you want to be on the inside or the outside?
It depends. If I'm side by side, I'd take the inside for the double left-handers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was double left-handed. Demon R in the pits, is it?
Yeah. That's a short stint with a lot of fuel left.
Was that 4 laps?
6.
So it's... Oh, 6. So what's he doing? 6?
Well, Gary into the pits. Well, 8 and 6 is 4.
Is he going to do a 10-lap stint?
Is he going to? I mean, I mentioned a little while ago, he might be concerned about the undercut that others have been getting. If he's going to try a 10-lap stint here, this could be a blinder of a move. If he can make the tyres last 10 laps. Jimmy on the attack here, or closing in again on the back of Twilight. Okay, it's going to be interesting to see what really pans out here, because I don't think SGP or Conrad would have expected Demon R to pit then. Jimmy's gone deep. Oh, that's unfortunate. Be careful. Oh, Hay nearly runs into that. Hay's got a penalty. I don't know what for. Must have been a tackle in the box. Your mind just went dirty then, I know it. No? Oh, someone's did. Mine did. Tackle in the box. Come on.
Is that not a sausage at
If my granny had wheels, she'd be a bike.
you know exactly how I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. There's nothing better than getting home from work and having a sausage in the hole. SGP.
I reckon he knows
exactly what he's saying.
What he's saying.
Yep.
And because he's, well, whatever, Italian. Or half Italian or kids on he's Italian, he gets away with it.
Absolutely. Okay, bit of information for you. SGP's pitted, Conrad's carried on. Steve F1 has pitted, he's only done a 5-lap stint, but he's only got a 9-lap stint now. He did a 10-lap stint earlier. Maybe didn't want to do a 5-lap stint there, but I think with Demon R doing the like jumping the gun early, I think a few of them have had to. SGP definitely had to. It was out of tyres. Says, hey,
Mason's not getting to the end with that fuel. He's going to have to pit again.
Definitely, absolutely, he's going to have to pit again. I mean, something to consider as well. Last week we saw Conrad and Critical. Sorry, that was SGP's inside Steve F1. That's what.
You want to make babies.
Steve friends. Okay, so
is that why they call it Steve friends?
Yeah. So yeah, Steve F1. I would get.
You know they'll get that tune playing when they're side by side or inside each other.
That one.
No. What's that one? The Terry, the bodybuilder actor guy.
Kelly Clarkson. Is it Kelly Clarkson?
Oh, Terry.
Yeah.
Oh, Terry.
Terry.
It's not Kelly. It's
the singer.
I miss you.
Yeah. It's not.
And I need you.
I know the
it's
one.
Not
Yeah.
Kelly.
Clarkson. It's something. Sounds something.
It's not Kelly Clarkson. That's not Kelly. It's.
I actually listened to it last week. It's Terry Crews, the song that he's in a car side by side with someone at traffic lights and he's singing it. Okay, Twilight into the pits, Jimmy into the pits. They should be able to make this their last stop. Conrad has carried on for another lap. So he's not done 8.8, he's done 8.9.
Vanessa Carlton.
That's it, Vanessa Carlton. Okay, so what we've got, Demon R here with Gary right behind him. Has Demon R looked after his tyres enough on the 3 laps he's done so far? As we talked about last week, when you're doing a longer stint and you get the boost, excuse me, look after those tyres so they look after you later on. Gary's got decent tyres. SGP's got a penalty.
Steve F1's going to jump.
He'll have him.
SGP then.
Yeah. Also, Steve F1, when he pitted, or when they pitted, had less fuel to put in, which is why he was able to close the gap up to SGP. Okay, so difficult to sort of say exactly what's happening now, other than Conrad going around the final couple of corners. No, he's into the pits. This will be for his last stop. And I was going to say, last week we had Conrad and Critical run out of fuel, didn't we? I can't see that happening to Conrad or Critical today. I would like to think that they will edge on the side of caution with that one. So SGP is at the moment ahead of Steve F1 until the penalty serving zone, which is just where that yellow mark is.
Yeah. Here comes Steve F1.
Is he going to get it? He's not going to get it.
Oh, has he not gone?
I know why. Oh, he has!
He's taking the inside.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
It's a nice
park
move.
it, park it.
Give
him a parking ticket.
Twilight's back in the pits. He pitted a lap ago, yeah. Oh,
Did he forget?
I think he forgot the fuel because I'm pretty sure he had 8% of fuel when he went in the pits the last lap. And when he went in this lap, he had 1%. So SGP may have a run on Steve F1 here, but I think what Steve F1 was sort of doing around the penalty zone area, Ray, was, and SGP perhaps doing it, is looking after the tyres a bit. Okay, Arpal closing in now, so SGP technically would get boost here, but he's a bit too close to Steve F1. Arpal's got the boost, so he's closing in, so he's got a good chance of doing something about the 2 cars ahead. Jason's deep! Oh, I think
he's on the marbles.
Yeah, I think if you Jason pit now, 6 laps to go, or 5 laps.
He needs to put.
Yeah, 6 laps to go for Jason. Get in the pits and do it. So
Demonard could do them. Demonard's tyres for 6 laps. He's got over about 60% or more.
Okay, so yeah, Steve F1 and SGP have got a lot more tyre than Demonard. Here comes Conrad, who was the later of them to pit. Oh, Arpal's gone a little bit deep there. That'll give Connor an opportunity to close the gap into the final couple of corners. Actually, he'll give him the chance to make the move.
Yeah.
I don't know if Arpal had a half-second penalty there. I doubt it. I don't think he did. Is that SGP's going to the pits?
Again?
He's got the fuel.
What for?
It's a good question as Arpal comes back at Conrad. Now we've seen these two. Oh, Connor's got a penalty.
What's... Oh, both went to switch sides at the same time. That would have went wrong
if they'd have got it slightly wrong, yeah. As Brundle would say, that would have been an airplane crash. They would have quickly found themselves at the scene of the accident. Now, we have seen Arpal and Conrad battle it out in previous championships as well. It'll be interesting to see how their battle here is going to go. I think Arpal's got the better tyre life than Steve F1 at the moment. You see Demon R closing up on Hay. Jason hasn't pitted, he needs to now. So Demon R then, I think you're right, he's got plenty of tyres left for 5 laps. Hey, the gravel! Oh no, I wonder if he's got no tyres.
All Arpal has to do is kind of park it so Conrad's behind him for this till this penalty zone, and then just have, give him a wee bit of breather to go and attack Steve F1.
True, that is true, yeah. I mean, one thing I was going to say, but I did forget about Conrad having the penalty, is Oh, hey, yeah, he's got no tyres left. It looks like he's trying to stay out of the way. Not easy to do when you can't steer. He's gonna have to be careful on that tight line as Jason is into the pits. Can he get that slowed down without causing chaos? Yeah, yes he can. You can tell he had understeer. Oh, he's going to get a penalty as well. To be fair though, in that situation, take the 3-second penalty, because if you do another lap, you're going to lose more than 3 seconds. I was going to say, yeah, if you're in a
I think because Conrad was coming through his inside, that he just couldn't move over in the right time.
Absolutely. I was going to say, yeah, Arpal, as it's getting misty again. It would. He is. If Connor hadn't have had the penalty, though, I'd have been tempted to let Connor go. Oh, Arpal's all over the back of Steve F1 now, isn't he? But yeah, so I'd have been tempted to let Connor go and attack Steve F1, because on this track, Connor had a bit more pace than Arpal. So in this situation, if Connor's going to be potentially attacking Arpal, I'd be off tempted if I was Arpal to let Connor go, attack Steve F1. And then you get past Steve F1 as well, and then see if you can do anything about Connor. The other way to do it is, like you said, park it and attack.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say park it and attack, but...
You can tell what people like this are all the safety ones. They've got the safety glasses on their bloody headlights. you know, when you get safety glasses for work.
Oh, yeah, tinted yellow, yeah. I'm a safe driver, I am. All I'm doing is lighting a candle. Connor, switch back.
He's got it, because Twilight went a wee bit, Arpal went a wee bit.
There's no red car there. Oh, side by side. Oh, this is lovely driving. I said earlier it'd be interesting to see how they battle it out here. That's all fine.
I'd be... If I know Conrad's faster than me, I'd be sneaking in behind him, getting the boost and pushing Conrad to try and make so 2 people can overtake Steve F1.
Yeah, just to clarify as well, I don't think you mean boost, I think you mean slipstream.
Slipstream and boost.
Yeah. Well, they won't get boost now.
Arpal won't be getting boost, sorry.
Yeah. So on the pack cam, we got Critical with SGP up his bumper. Conrad closing in.
What was the SGP doing? Pitting again? What's going to be his benefit? He's stuck in...
He's in 7th at the moment. Yeah, he's trying to make the move on Critical. You know, the only thing I can perhaps think...
I get squeezed wide there.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is that he was in, 6th place, and he had Arpal catching him up in 7th, Conrad catching him up in 8th. Maybe he was just thinking, you know what, rather than be attacked in the last few laps, I'd rather be attacking, so pit for a fresh set of tyres. I don't know if it's going to work, because around here Conrad's got a good... He's closed the gap up nicely on Steve F1. Let's see if he can get a good run.
He's dropped away.
He has.
Has he just lost a bit of concentration?
Maybe. I'm trying to think... No, Arpal didn't do a longer stint here. He's on a shorter stint than Steve F1 here. As SGP has got ahead of Critical. Critical trying to come back at him. Conrad taking... that looked like a peekaboo line. Where he's just going, peekaboo, I'm here, hello, just look at your mirrors so you can go deep. We can see Demon R up there going into turn 1. So it looks like Demon R, I mean, he's had about a 9-second gap so far in this stint. Critical. He could be a little close on tyres, especially if he battles hard. Gary's got better tyres. Jason's got really better tyres. It's Critical and Jimmy side by side into one. Jason might get the both of them here. Oh, Jimmy, big time sideways.
It was good to see them both getting round there. That was good. Critical going right outside again of Jimmy might actually have to run if it goes deep.
So's Connor.
Oh, Jimmy! Oh, Jesus.
Connor's got the run on Steve F1 up the inside into turn 3-4. Up the inside, Steve F1. Switchback doesn't work here. Hanging around the outside works better, but I don't know if Steve F1 can do anything about Connor here. We'll see. We'll see if Arpal may be able to close that gap back up, or whether Conrad can pull away from the both of them. Who's that? Is that? Sorry, that's Connor that's on the pack cam now. Go on.
Jason going round the inside of was Critical going.
Ooh, big tank slapper! Oh, that's brave, slapping a tank. I think I've said that before.
I don't know what happened there. I couldn't really see. We just got the back end of it.
Right,
so he's still spinning.
Yeah, he is.
Going to give him the golden
hot pants. Yeah. Oh, look at Demon R's tyre. Oh, okay, Demon R's tyres. He's got 2 laps to do. Conrod's tyre so much fresher. Can he do anything about the gap? Jason on extremely fresh tyres on the back of. So for SGP, he was in 6th place and he's now in 6th place with fresher tyres than the cars ahead as Jason goes defensive on Jimmy. Jimmy tags the back of him, they get sideways a little bit, side by side up the hill now as SGP tries to open that gap up a little bit. Jason will not want to be fighting here for too long. He'll want to get ahead and attack SGP, but Jimmy's putting up a great fight at the moment.
Yeah, he is, definitely. I think Jason was looking to do a switchback there, but Jimmy just kind of parked it over the apex.
Had it absolutely covered. Jason's got the run though down into turn 3. Jimmy can't fend it off now. Jason's got the fresher tyres. Has he got the balls? Yes, he has. He's got the Swedish meatballs!
And a pint of Carlin.
Oh dear. Don't forget the frazzles. Okay, Jimmy. Yeah, he's good.
Like them as well.
Oh, he loved them. Yeah. Jimmy's might not have enough fuel to get to the end. His light's already flashing, and there's a lap and a quarter to go. SGP is closing in on the back of Nelly, so SGP may be able to sort of net gain. But I'm thinking though, if he hadn't have pitted, he would have been, what, between Steve F1 and Art Pound now?
Yeah.
So his net position could have been better as Nelly tried breaking the slipstream. Whoa! I guess that's his defensive move. He's going to be way slow in the corner now, though. Oh no! He's, understeered wide. Oh, a little bit of touch. Oh, Jimmy got sideways to the back.
Jason, has he got the both of them? There's Jason.
He might. Go on.
He might have net. He's got Nelly, but has he got SGP? Oh, it's close. He's got the inside line. Don't let him do the switchback, Jason.
Oh, Hank's trying. If I was Jason, I took over, getting to SGP's slipstream, which is not quite. Oh, no, SGP's moved over. That's why, to give Nelly the slipstream. Oh, now give Jason the slipstream. I reckon Nelly's going to try it. Oh no, Jason covers it off. I think that's the benefit of the fresher tyre. As we are on the final lap of the race, by the way. That's gone pretty quick. Demon R, how's his gap? Looking at the track map, I think that gap is coming down. But there's only 2 corners to go. Can Jason do anything about SGP now? So SGP, he's gained 1 place. Demon R, he's got a slither on his tyre, but only 1 corner to go. On the back end, we can see SGP and Jason. So Demon R then, he could have had victory last week. He has got victory this week. Conrad has closed the gap. So has Steve F1. SGP making the move on Jason in the final corners. Oh, Jason round the outside. Oh, what a move. What a battle through the final corners there. Jason holds on against SGP and Nelly. And Jimmy, hey, he's going to cross the line. He's almost out of fuel. Critical, we saw him have that spin earlier on. Massively unfortunate for him. And then Twilight in 11th, and then Formula Gary in 12th. But what a race we had there as Gary was a little wide. We take a look at Demon R. I mean, we talked last week about Steve F1 running his tyres to perfection. Demon R wasn't quite perfection because he's got a red left front tyre, but that 10 lap stint at the end worked wonders for him. Because I think at the first pit stop his gap was about 4 seconds. After the second pit stop his gap ended up being 9 seconds, so worked really well for him. Conrad's had a brilliant race there as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, Conrad has. He has just done really well.
Oh,
There was something that was... Yeah, do we know if Critical still got that?
wheel issue.
Not the wheel issue, the assist.
No. I did mention it to him in the practice before the event, and he did go through his settings. He also had ABS on weak. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, go on.
Well, I'll let you say your part on ABS on week,
Okay.
and then I'll say my part on ABS on week.
Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know, on GT, it's been on GT for a while, but also on GT7, you have 3 ABS settings: default, weak, and off. Personally, I've never liked GT's off setting because all tyres just bloody lock up everywhere. But what is interesting is if you have it on weak, then your ABS level is basically a set weak setting for every car. So if you're driving this car, your ABS is at a weak level. If you're driving a Formula 1 car, then the ABS level is the same, but the car's power, speed and brakes are different. So the ABS level doesn't really work for that car. And going the other way, if you have a really underpowered car, the ABS will be too much for the car. So you're better off having it on default. That way, the ABS is set for the car you are in, rather than it being a baseline across all cars. So there you go. Go on, your point?
Oh, the ABS on week you would put on for a car that you feel the back end is going to slip out more, and you can use your brake bias a wee bit more to the rear. Like most of the time, if I've got a car that the back end's kicking out, I'll have the weak ABS on, and usually my brake bias all the way back to the rear.
Well, you like it up the rear.
Who said that? You tell you my secret.
that would be telling.
Was it Terry Crews?
I
need you.
You've put me off what I was going to say. That it's an interesting what you mentioned there. I mean, personally, I'd personally just leave the ABS as default. But then, I mean, different horses for different courses.
And some the weaker options sometimes it helps with the car turning in than default, where the car tends to seem a wee bit oversteery. I've not done full on tests on this, it's just YouTubes that I've watched and found this out with, and I've tried it on a couple of cars and I have seen like a difference in pace wise.
Interesting. I mean, ABS is, I mean, obviously, the brake balance is an interesting one as well, because, so for example, one of the things Demon R worked out during the practice, he was telling me, while we were laying in bed together, he was telling me about this.
And I need you.
And I'm not coming out, by the way. That was not that. For anyone that doesn't know, don't worry about it. For anyone that knows, you know. That makes it sound even worse, doesn't it?
I want the world to know.
Where's
my pain is pain?
Where's my Toblerone? So for example, at this track, I mean, I normally don't really play about with the brake balance too much, but if there is a track where the front tyres are getting absolutely battered, I will try the brake bias more towards the rear to see if it would take some pain off the front tyres. By doing that, though, it does alter the balance of the car, so it can affect your braking points, how you brake and things like that. But if it saves the tyres in a critical way, then it can be worth doing. So this track, for qualifying, having the brakes in the middle worked best, because you could be gentle with it at turn 1, aggressive with it at turn 2 and 3, and you don't really need the brakes in the rest of the lap. However, However, for the race, when doing a race stint in practice, the tyres only lasted about 6 or 7 laps with the brake bias in the middle, even though the balance of wear was actually pretty good. When I moved the brake bias to 2 to the rear, I got an extra 3 laps out of the tyres. So, and that was just from like moving the brakes back and then the style of driving that then needed. But what also it allowed me to do is it allowed me to get 10 laps out of the tyres, but also still be quick. So the 10 lap stint at the end, although DBR was out of tyres on the last lap, it wasn't really a concern at any point. But yeah, it was still a game changer. So for the brake balance, that can be very good for working the tyres, but also if you have it in the wrong place, it can absolutely kill you. So I'm trying to think which track it was. There was a track recently where I wanted more braking power, and normally one way you do that is put more brake to the front, but when I did that, it was too much power and it was just overheating the tyres, understeering then in the corners and killing the tyres more. So it worked out that wasn't a better way.
Would that have been Suzuka or?
No, it wasn't at Suzuka.
Gardens or High Speed Run?
Gardens. It was Gardens. Come round turn 1, the long left-hander, that's fine. Then you got the little chicane, so the little chicane, yeah. Then the hairpin, then the next flowing left-right section.
Yeah.
All of that was just overheating the tyres and causing understeer.
See if the braking bias just came up a wee thing in the corner saying 2 to the rear, 2 to the front, and it kept your radar there. You could change it like you do in F1 games. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I don't like about that wee thing in the corner, because when you go to change your brake bias, you lose the radar.
Yeah, that's true.
As well.
Yeah.
So you can't do a wee fly. All right, we're coming up here. Right, let me change this just before the braking zone, because you need the radar just before the braking zone as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I know in our old F1 days there used to be tracks where I would be. I mean, obviously we didn't have a radar on it, but yeah, it would be brake balance forwards, backwards. Diff settings, like literally per corner, and it did help me go a lot faster, but it was a lot of work around tracks, but it's a bit like, I mean, I was saying, like with Redbull Ring, the braking you need for turn 1 is very different to the braking you need for turn 2. And the braking you need for turn 2 is very different for the braking you need for turn 3. Same for turn 4, and then you don't really need to brake much. Something I was going to say though, something I haven't done for a long time, I only ever done it once, is a corner analysis. It might be interesting to do a corner analysis on the Redbull Ring. Turn 4, as we would call it, the left-hander, because personally, I think that's a corner where you can take it in many different ways that'll all lose you lap time. You can take it in 1 or 2 ways that'll gain you lap time. And the way of driving it is very different to perhaps what people might expect. So it's a little bit like when I said to you during the race, if you were going side by, would you want to be on the inside or the outside of those corners? You said, I'd want to be on the inside. And I agree, because if you're on the inside, you're where the grip is. Now, you're going to end up on a tighter line, and the outside line may work, but if you are on the inside, you'll also be on the inside for the next left-hander. But if you're on the outside and you get a touch wide, you can go way off into the gravel. Interesting though. I've got into a bit of a technical talk there. Just wondered if you remember, Ray, or know, Ray, what the next track is.
Hatchback.
Yeah.
Oh, we never. I wasn't there to do it, was it?
There's only,
We went straight to football, didn't we?
there's only 3 letters in the name.
Spa.
Spa. Yeah, Spa. Now, if it doesn't rain there, I'm going to be very disappointed. Now, in the 3-lap run we did, it hammered it down.
It didn't rain. It did.
It hammered. Yeah, first lap was dry, and I was leading, come round the final corner, and a couple of cars behind me, and I hear, "Oh, I should have pitted." I look at the radar, and it's light blue, dark blue, bit darker blue. It's like, well, we might be all right on slicks. We'll be all right if it doesn't go green. And then it starts raining on the next lap, and it's not too bad. And then it turns green. It's like, okay, into the pits. So we had a 1 lap on the some inters, some wet, some stayed out on the slick. So Nelly, I think, was about 10 seconds behind or some 15 seconds behind, something like that, because it had a spin on the first lap. Decided to stay with the slicks. He got as far as the exit of turn 1. By the time me, SGP, Steve F1 had all pitted and come out the pits, we drove past him because he couldn't get the car going. Yeah.
But your traction controller.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, hopefully
He races with traction control. What am I talking about?
yeah, true. Yeah, okay, so next week's race at Spa. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the tyres there as well if it stays dry. Because Spa can be known as a bit of a tyre killer, but also the boost there could be very, very, very powerful. So like the race here today, I mean, you mentioned about how long it took Art Pal to catch up. One of the reasons for that is because I think a pit stop at the Red Bull Ring took about 40 seconds. So it was a long time in the pits on a lap that's quite short. Now, Spa also has a long pit stop, but it also has a long lap to catch back up with some high-speed straights. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. You like fish, don't you?
Oh, what type?
Like fish in a fish tank fish.
Right.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Yes. All right, okay. Well, I have a fun fact for you. Right. You know, koi fish. Right. They always travel in groups of 4.
Alright.
Well, you see, if they're attacked, koi A, B, and C will scatter, leaving behind the decoy.
Alright.
I went with a tame joke this week. Right, anything else you want to add, Ray? Come on, you got a joke to throw my way?
You know these kind of beliefs, like if your ear's red hot, somebody's talking about you.
Oh yeah.
So if your palm of your hands itchy, it means you're getting something.
Oh, aye.
If your crotch is itchy, it means you've got something.
Yes, and yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Now, Nelly told us a joke, which I would love to tell you. Well, I'd love to tell it you, but it isn't suitable for the channel. So I'll tell you after this commentary, and if anyone cares, you can ask what the joke is, but I'm not going to tell you. Right, Ray, thank you very much for joining us on the commentary.
I ain't even going to send it privately, because Damon R did that one day, and he shut down a whole YouTube channel.
I did, yeah, I did, yeah. That was a good one as well. But anyway, yeah, right. Thank you for your comments.
Comments, okay.
Right.
No, thank you for having me, and thanks to everybody else.
That's why you got. So that's why you got an itchy groin, because I've had you. Oh dear. Right, on that bombshell, let's check out the conference race result and the championship standings.
Demon R then taking the victory in the maximum 20 points ahead of Conrad in second place, Steve F1 in third, Artpal fourth, Jason fifth, SGP in sixth, Nelly in seventh, Jimmy in eighth, Hay in ninth, Critical in 10th, Twilight 11th, and Formula Gary in 12th. Let's take a look at what that's done to the standings then. Steve F1 still leads the way, only by 3 points now to Demon R, who has got 4 points over SGP. Artpal still there though, only 2 points behind SGP, so 9 points covers the top 4. We then got a bit of a gap down to Jimmy in 5th place. He's 13 ahead of Formula Gary. Critical only 2 points behind Formula Gary in 7th place, and then we've got Conrad in 8th. He's jumped up to 8th on 26 points, 2 behind Critical. Then we've got 1 point back to Jason in 9th place, and then a 5-point gap to Nelly in 10th. Twilight 2 points behind Nelly, so a lot of twos here. 11th place for Twilight, and then Rich Blues moves down to 12th place on 17 points. And then we've got Hay in 13th on 14 points. A little bit of a tongue twister there for me. Okay, so as we mentioned, the next race is at Spa, and I do hope we're going to get some wet weather. It might not be very pleasant, but it could be entertaining. One thing I will say is, if it does get wet, you've got to be on the right tyres at the right time, because if you're not, you're either going to burn up tyres or you're going to just spin around. Right, that's all for today, folks. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. You know what to do. Like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell. And if you do want to get involved in the DGT League, feel free to drop us a message on Facebook. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.